Hey everyone, Speed Generations here, and today we have the Boscage Maze 2.5 inch pack. So I can kind of see why Sonic is weird now, because look. This is just figurine collection, you know, Boscage Maze, whatever, Gnarly, Boscage Sonic, and our first Mangey, which means we've completed all the Tailses in the set. Green Shard, Shard Base, Sonic, Mangey, and Gnarly. I do have Boscage Maze and Gnarly 5-inch to compare to. Oh, you can even make a little scene right there, I guess, apparently. Did they say that? They say that in the other ones, too. But you can't really with the New York one, and you can't with this one either, but, I mean, you can try to, like, background or whatever. I don't know. Here's the side, so it's kind of just the same as the other ones. But it obviously being Boscage Maze this time. New York Sonic render would be kind of cool if they gave it a different render, but it's fine. So let's just open it up. Okay, we are going to start with Boscage Sonic, of course, because it's, you know, one of them that always will come in the sets of Sonic. So, you know, not too surprising that we're gonna start with him. So anyway. Here we have Boscage Sonic here. Obviously, he looks pretty different to the other ones that we've gotten in the previous two waves of Prime figures. So here's New York Sonic compared to Boscage Maze. Obviously, he's looking in a different direction. Still the same smile from what it looks. It's just kind of a different kind of expression in a way. No Place Sonic here kind of has eyes that'll just stare into your soul, but the grins here are kind of just, or the smiles here are kind of just on opposite sides of each other, and Sonic is looking straight forward at you, and yeah, he's kind of more of a darker blue in this one compared to that. And the weird thing about these is that this one scales sort of well with this one, but then this one kind of just scales off of this one, which I find pretty weird. If you can see that here. Put all the Sonics in front of each other. It's kind of weird, isn't it? How Boscage Sonic looks a lot smaller than the other two. So that's kind of weird, to be honest. Yeah, and that's really the only difference I'm seeing. Well, I guess they decided to add little details too, like, you know, in the 5-inch figures where they added the details for the fur and whatever. Seems like they did it here too, which wasn't really necessary for them to do. But I still do like that they did do that. I do appreciate that, at least. But the weird thing is they have not done it for New York Sonic, and they did not do it for No Place Sonic. So it was a little out of the ordinary. And I also find it out of the ordinary how they just shrunk him down a little more. So this doesn't really feel like a 2.5-inch figure, because they kind of just shrunk him down more as the 2.5-inch figures here. Hold on, he's the worst at standing, just like a couple others, but I don't think you can get Boscage Sonic to like really stand well. Yeah, he just, I don't know. When you put him on the base, he looks taller, but off the base, he just looks smaller, and it's weird that they decided to just add fur detail to him just now in the waves, when they could have started with that, or, you know, just something. And as you can see, here is the 5-inch one though compared to 2.5-inch one. The claws are a little different on this one compared to the 5-inch one here, as you can see. They're kind of like out in a certain angle almost. So that's kind of weird a little bit though. Anyway, here's bottom of his shoes. It kind of seems like he has two of it, but that's because of how his legs are. And one leg he can only balance on, so he's like the classic Supersonic we got a while back ago, where that one would just only stand on one leg, and this is exactly the same thing here, where he's only standing on one leg. And that's the most prominent issue I'm seeing with this figure, besides how weird the changes are with now putting fur details on him and him being shrunken down a little more and him having like a different eye direction kind of thing. It almost makes him feel weird, but at first in the product images it made him feel like a bootleg. So I mean, yeah, mine seems to stand fine now that I separated the legs from each other, but that is still weird. I mean, this is another new Sonic, but I'm just so confused on it, and I don't know. We'll see if Wave 4 impresses me better, but this is not what I really like, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Sonic. Boscage Sonic is one of my favorite Sonics in Sonic Prime, but my big issue is that they just randomly decided to do changes on us without even giving a small glimpse of detail, without telling us, because in the product images, it kind of made him, it kind of looked like he was staring off to the side, but it also really didn't. And I don't know, that just, it feels so weird. And it, in the product images, it never told us he had any fur detail to begin with. So I'm left off to be confused here of why they decided to make these final changes probably before the final product started going on Amazon, or for when, I don't know, probably for when they just decided to do that. I don't know. Sonic feels too small at this point, and not like the other ones where they're, I mean, Neo Sonic kind of stands perfectly fine with him. That's not my problem, but it's No Place Sonic that's my problem. You can see how a bit bigger he was. I think Jakks was trying to probably also make maybe a 5-inch one, because, I don't know. They were originally planning to do it in Wave 3, as we saw, no, 4, sorry. But we never got him, so I don't know. It's kind of weird how this one is a lot taller than the other one, so I don't think it's his scaling. I think it's him that's wrong with the scaling that I did not point out in the Wave 2 video, so I should have really pointed that out. I'm starting to get better at reviewing here. I just need to think my mind and trace it a little bit before I do these videos, because if I just do the videos without thinking, then I don't think I'm gonna do it right. So yeah, we'll take a look at Gnarly Knuckles next, and then after that we'll take a look at Mangey. So let's move on to Gnarly. Here we have Gnarly Knuckles. I really do like this figure, especially that his expression is completely different. So this is what makes me like the 2.5-inch Gnarly better than the 5-inch Gnarly, because the 5-inch Gnarly is kind of just like, yeah, it kind of just blank. He doesn't feel expressive. He kind of just feels like he's sad, or I don't know what you'd really put it, but he's less expressive on the 5-inch compared to the 2.5-inch, and I like that he's more expressive on this, because it shows, like, you know, maybe at the end of Season 3 the way he was, maybe something that happened in the Boscage maze that made him pissed. I don't know. But if I look closely here, I do see some fur detail on him, which to me looks like Dread does not have. Yep, Dread does not have this. So yeah, he's also taller than Gnarly, but I think this was on purpose, obviously. The No Place figures are probably just that tall, except Sales. Again, I think it's all purposely for just No Place Sonic and Dread. So, I mean, I don't know. You can sort of move his head around here. But again, the dreads are kind of affecting it. You can move his arms. He's got an open fist if you want to put something in it, I guess. I don't know what you can put in it, but here's also the articulation for his legs. I missed that out on Sonic, so 1 second here. I'm not just gonna, he can pretty sure do it. Nope. Kind of just breaking him. But yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. There you go. Okay, so there's Gnarly Knuckles, but we will compare him real quick to the 5-inch, because we really didn't get into it besides their expressions looking completely different. So here's the two Gnarlies. Also, there's a detail on top of his hat that isn't really here on the 2.5-inch one, as I've noticed here. That's perfectly fine. It's just, I don't know. They just kind of forgot that detail. Again, could be they were rushing on things. They do that. That tends to happen a lot when Jakks just rushes on things and gets them out onto Amazon or on the shelves. So not too surprising there. So yeah, there is Gnarly Knuckles. Now we move on to Mangey. So Jakks Pacific has given us our first Mangey. Now, the thing about Mangey is, unfortunately, he doesn't have too much merchandise out there besides by the keychain plushies of Prime, by PMI, and I'm pretty sure that he has like these little figured things that come with a shard capsule thing. There's those little ones too. But for Mangey, it's not too much. The only thing I can really compare him to is the Mangey keychain plush. So that's what we're gonna have to go off of, since Jakks Pacific has not made a 5-inch, and I doubt they will, since this is likely after this wave 4 is going to be the final one. So honestly, I really like this Mangey from what I can start out from saying. I do kind of feel like they did miss out on the opportunity of making him look more like he's on all fours like in the show. They could have done that. I felt like they could have, but then again, Mangey did stand when he was with Sails and a couple other scenes in Sonic Prime, but I mean, I kind of still would have liked that, but this is perfectly fine too, so I'm not complaining about it too much. His tails can move full 360. Same goes with his arms, hands too. Probably hands. I don't know. I just don't want to break in and find out, since these guys are a lot smaller. I think a head can go to full 360 here. Yup. I think Boscage Sonic just fails to do that. And there's also fur detail on his tails, along with just sort of everywhere, almost everywhere. So here he is compared to the plush. I kind of don't like the expression on the plush because he kind of looks bland that way. I know I probably didn't express it in the keychain video I made about these guys, but I kind of like just this one better, since it's like more expressive, and this one's kind of just dull. Just like this is more dull than this one. But yeah, you guys get the point. But I still do like that. We have completed all the tailses from all 3 shatter spaces of... Oh, wait. Hold up. Yeah, No Place Tails is a little bit bigger. I think they're doing that intentionally. 9's probably just fine. But it's weird, though. They give us the full... or they give us 3 of the Amy's, and then in the 2.5-inch scale, they give us all the Tailses. Not that I'm complaining, but, I mean, hey, I felt like all 3 of the characters deserve their own counterparts as a figure. But Jakks is about to be done with Prime pretty soon. We just got one more wave, and Prime is done, which would be mostly the Grim set, and then obviously the 4. Anyway, there he is compared to the others, with the others, whatever. Obviously 9 and Mangey are going to be scaled well with each other. By No Place Tails is just a little bit taller. That seems to be the case with the No Place sets, or set, because they feel a little bit taller. Their prototype images and whatever don't do them any good whatsoever. Here is the green shard with the tree base, which is pretty accurate, because in the show from season 1, this is where I think Sonic found the shard, or it was season 2. I don't exactly remember, but I do remember this shard being on a tree stump at one point in Sonic Prime. So, I'm gonna take the shard off the base without trying to break it here. So here's where you can put the shard if you want to. And at first, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, there's 3 holes. So maybe when wave 3 comes out, there will be like a side here connected to that, right? All 3 pegs on this, and then put it here. and I realized, wait, Wave 1 didn't have it. It had this. And now Wave 3 didn't have that. And there's 3 holes here. So, what I learned from the video of Sonic and the Bean Show here is that I'd suggest putting the green one on first, though, because you really never know if it will go out right or anything. So, I'm trying to hold my phone here. I still need that freaking stand. There we go. Snapped into place. I'm going to try to put the red one right next to the green one. If that does not work. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, so it seems like you can put one more right here too. Obviously, it has enough for 3. So that means that yellow shard we're getting for Wave 4 can go here, and that tiny little one, we'll figure out what happens with it. But there we go. That's all 3 shards together. So that means in figure form, Sonic gets to go home. I don't know. I don't exactly remember how many shards there is in Sonic Prime that they had to go get, but again, my guess is just 4, since there's the Grim, there's Boscage Maze, there's No Place, and then there is New York City. So my guess is that the yellow one's gonna go here, and then we'll figure out, you know, where the little purple one's gonna go. But this looks awesome so far. I like how Jakks just built off of the idea how you will be able to connect all the shards and make them one. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to keep them like this because I actually really like that. So yeah, that was the review for Boscage Maze Pack Wave 3. As I am as disappointed with the Sonic, I still don't mind it. I'm still pretty happy about this. I'm glad I purchased this and picked this up. This came in a little late today, so I started getting a little upset because I thought someone might have took it on me, which has happened before. Not with my packages, obviously, with someone else's. Well, actually, I had an incident one time where almost someone stole my package. Thought I did, and someone did not read the name on it and took it in somewhere else. But anyway, that was it. I can't wait to review Wave 4, the 5-inch for Prime, which obviously I gotta wait until I get Baton Rouge, and then can't wait to review Wave 4 of the Grim too. So, with that being said, Speed Generation signing off, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.